decision-making and business processes. And they're usually based on larger and larger volumes of data and enhanced resources. While the process of digital transformation in private sector organizations has more tangible drivers, therefore you can see the efficiency gain. You can see if I use data and I'm able to target my customers, I can do customers segmentation, I can see how I'm getting market share, and you can see the much more immediate results. The practice of digital transformation in government must also consider public purpose and involves traditional factors of ownership of data. Do you get it? And the persistence of public data, especially when it comes to identity. Do you get it? Data security and privacy, data service accessibility for everybody, and public digital literacy. They from the public sector, it's not as tangible as you can see it in the private sector, where it's very easy to see what I'm doing, that my digital transformation, if I invest in it, these are the immediate tangible results. The principles of digital transformation are as follows. It must be data-driven and must be based on data-informed decision-making. Therefore, you must build consensus based on what? On evidence. There must be openness. It must be able to enable transparency and easy access of information, sometimes by default. It must be design-driven, following a cycle of discovery, prototyping, and delivery. It must be iterative, incorporating more agile working methods, user-focused with user needs and testing early. It doesn't go on digital transformation without looking at the end user in mind. You get it? It must have what they call interoperability. That's the maintainability to share data across functions. And that is very key. I still find it very interesting in Nigeria that we have data that is now mined, that is held by different government agencies. I keep on asking yourself, why are you not talking to each other? Why are you not talking to each other? You'll have the passport office have its own database of everybody that has a passport. You have the banking system. At least that was one widespread with their BVN, the same database. The same government now turned up and said you must have NIN. All I thought it will build an existing database and link them. Every single agency will come up with its own database. And now ask yourself, the whole area of digital transformation as government is that build on existing data systems that you have and make sure that they can all talk to each other. Clearly does not make sense. There's an individual, I'll have a different national identity number that is totally different from my BVN number, different from the number of it, my passport agency. You now have the Federal Road Safety Corps having a different number for my driving license. I would have thought by now that you'll have a basic database, take one with the largest number of Nigerians and use that as the basis and build on it. I think that is very important. The way we are going about it, you just keep on asking yourself what exactly is going on. Therefore, it must have a basic way of ability to share data across all platforms. Issue of privacy and security is key. You must be able to prevent unauthorized access to systems and data. And for public sector, again, you must have some considerations. And put here, across the globe, governments and government agencies are implementing digital transformation projects and initiatives for a myriad of reasons, of which the satisfaction and experience of a changing citizen is one, and cost saving is another. Over here, we don't think about the citizens and the experience of the citizen. We keep on announcing, oh, we want to go digital. We want to have a digital transformation. We want to now get data. And just announce overnight, just like they did during the issue of the national NIN number, national identity number. You did it right in the middle of COVID, in the middle of lockdown, in the middle when people are trying not to, in the area of social distancing, and you announce such a thing. Therefore, you are not thinking about the citizens at all. It's saying, you're talking about linking your NIN to your mobile phone. Again, it was just announced. You can see that's why the date will keep on moving, because you don't look at the citizen doesn't appear to be at the heart of the decision making that we are making. And again, I put there, all these transformations are happening at all levels, at both national level, at regional level, at local level. Do you get it? And again, this also happens beyond government, so that not just in government, it happens in other public sector services as in public transportation. You can see Lagos State now talking about revamping its public transportation, and it's talking about the last mile bus and their new buses. And they're also thinking of introducing a card that you can use to pay. You keep on asking yourself, is there a way of linking it to the bank card that you already have, that is already holding with the chip on it, already holding your balance? That's what is done abroad. It's not possible to link that to your transportation system. So with my bank card, I can use it to pay because already the bank balance are there. Rather than now come up with a new card that you now hold data, I now find a way of not transfer money into that wallet. I sincerely hope that is in their mind in everything that they are doing. And why do we have digital transformation in government? Obviously, it's about increasing efficiency and transparency. We are talking about need for smart government and smart cities with new investments. It's talking about bridging the digital divide and transforming government transaction services. It's about data-driven government with better access to and management of information. It's about enhancing citizen satisfaction and trust. They're more especially meeting the needs of a rapidly changing demographics. Sometimes we don't think about that. It's a youthful economy, youthful demography in Nigeria. Do you get it? The age group is getting lower and lower. What that means is that, and with the younger people, they are much more in tune with the need for data and the way they impact and the way they do things. You still have a government now that's still people must be turning up for all kinds of things. That is not in tune with the demography that we have in Nigeria. So we must always bear that in mind. As the demography is changing, the government itself and the way it does things must also react in line with that. So it is key. What are the challenges for government? Major one, how do we incorporate these new technologies for their own public purposes? How should government address the use of these technologies that we already have in the private sector? How do these new technologies affect the functions, expectations, and the role of government in societies that are transforming? Whether we like it or not, societies are transforming. In Nigeria, the private sector has gone far in the area of digital transformation. It's quite visible in telecoms, in banking, and in the fintech space. Unfortunately, government is slow in responding and also come with regulation after the damage has been done. Sometimes you regulate after the damage has been done. Everybody has moved on. You are coming with regulation. And in some cases, you are trying to regulate what is now widely acceptable. And that's where the whole issue of cryptocurrency comes out. Whether we like it or not, people are already using cryptocurrency. People are trading it. People are sharing it. People are using it as a store of value. All of a sudden, we are not saying we are banning it. It's just too late. It's already seen as widely accepted. The question is, how do you come in and try and regulate and make sure you try and remove the adverse effect of such new technologies? It clearly cannot be a case of banning. It's too late. Every day you see it, and it's almost a global phenomenon.